method of Sukima that we have started on past days. Today let's start with the method called Haku Goku. This Haku comes from clothes, and this Goku means cruelty or violence. Then it's a method to employ aggressively, violently the clothes of our own clothes or the clothes of the opponent as a way to restrain and keep in powerful locks and controls that became the origins of what is our own Aikido Jutsu. Then for Hakugoku, let's start with several sequences, several basic ideas that will make us to understand what is this method. In this case, Sensei Rebecca Roca will graph me on Maimorote Teku Bitori from here. What we will do here is I will grab my own sode of the other hand and the other two as a way to keep a very powerful control here. We could move, we could do whatever to perform this powerful lock and this powerful control. From here, what we could do is to use my own sode to go inside to keep the control on the hands of the enemy. That from here we could pass to move and have this control. You could see it's inside my sode. I have here short sode gi, but we could have a long sode in order to perform several ways. From here we also could only grab some of the fingers here, but the most interesting side here would be having this control, and from here I could step on and have this control. We could go down, and from here, of course, going this and having this powerful lock that you could see. This is restraint on this way, and we could also employ their own sode to perform also several, if I grab here, and also perform this kind of powerful locks on the elbow. We have also other kinds of study. If she comes from my back and grabs me on Ushiro Kata, that from here I could have these both wrists here and employ my own Tatsuki. My Tatsuki here, it's a flexible Tatsuki that you could see it's not tense, but we could employ it with a tense Tatsuki that it will be more effective. But it's more practical right now to explain, to employ this kind of Tatsuki to have it. When I have this, I have the other control and go inside the other one. And from here we have the Kote Mawashi in both hands. This technique is employed when we are here. It's usually to keep both small fingers at the same time to grip here and also have the control in order to move and have my back protected, because we could have samurai on the back, and whatever I could do, I have the control on my back because I will have my opponent in my back as a shield protecting me what could be happening around, and I could maybe draw a sword or have a knife here to protect what is happening around. When this is end, what we will do, I will change. I will shift my hand, I will extend the other arm, grabbing here, moving to this side, and having, and from here, having the control on the neck in order to end. Also having this powerful, control on this point. Remember that those methods, of Sukima no Ho means that they need to be also very violent. We have a flexible Tatsuki, as I have explained. One more time. But if this is tense, it will be a very violent, because this will be restrained here up, and from here I will be making a strong pressure on the neck here, and I could also have control kneeing on the armpit, kneeing on the head, the neck, and also cause several injuries. Then those that you have seen are some basic sequence that you could make an idea how this method, especially it could be very aggressive, very violent, employing my own clothes, but also could be also employ the clothes of the enemy as a way to, for example, employ the hakama as a way to restrain that you could have on kote hineri, and from here having the restriction, and from here also apply a strong pressure, sorry, in order to keep control on several leverage and how to place with the enemy. Then this is for this method, hakugoku. Thank you. Let's go to the 10th one, that on this Shikima no Ho. We are talking about Kozan. This Kokan means height or to lift, and this Zan comes from Yama, that means mountain. Then it's the top of the mountain or to lift the mountain. The mountain will be the enemy, and we will try to lift or to open mainly what is the trunk, the body. Then we will try to keep this, because this is the part that will be handling the body center, the weight center, and also all the weaponry will be around what is the hips. Then with this idea, the first technique that we will, the first and the only a single technique for this method, it will be when she will try to attack me on this mako. What we will do is not trying to do something like that. It is not right for this method. What we will develop here is to low down my position, come downside, and from here I will try to get stress in order to have this control. Then for this first, we have, if you could see, the first step of lifting the mountain up. From here I will move backward in order to gain conditions for not being hit by the other hand, and from here I will keep the kote hineri coming from here and lifting up, and we have the second lifting of the mountain, the body and the trunk of the enemy. From here, what we will do is I will pass to that point, and I will keep control on the other hand, but also gaining condition and control on this. How? What I will do is, having this control, I will retreat, go back, have control on this hand, and with this I pass over in order to keep control on the arm, on the other arm. This is of course a powerful position that we have this arc. That means that you have lifted the mountain. From here I will perform very slowly. I will get easy for the camera to solve all details on this technique. For here I will knee down 1 and 2. In the 2, what I will do is, when she is sitting, I will cross this technique to this side in order to gain this control. This is a very powerful lock on the scapular waist, because this is very painful. The control here ends downside my armpit, makes this very powerful. And from here, my other hand will push in the occipital area in order to generate a flexion on the cervical. and from here it will be very painful. The combination of the shoulder lock, the shoulder waist control, and from here, and we have, and it's this in order to break. That it's the goal for these techniques of this method called Sukima no Ho and called Kaze. Then this is a quick explanation about a single technique to understand how powerful and violent is this method. How would you like it? Okay, let's go to the 11th one. This is called so-ryoku. This so comes from to clean, to wipe, or to sweep, and ryoku comes from chikara, that means force. Then this method, it's like sweeping force, sweeping energy that will perform to the enemy in order when the opponent is trying to grab me or attack me with a very strong way, and we will reverse the technique in a very powerful movement. Then in this case, for a single technique explanation, I will be grabbed on the mune from here, and right now I will perform the following technique. My hand will come here and the other with a very traction here will join and will make that this movement come and change completely the direction that we have. Take a look that the enemy will be grabbing with so much force, and from here I need to gain control, and from here breaking in this multi-directional movement in order to break and gain this control on the enemy. The head will come here, that it's the main goal for the first movement, to gain control on the neck. From here, what we will do is gain control on the other hand, and from here, take a look how I am wrapping the throat here and moving forward in order to gain control here. At the same time, I'm stepping on the lower calf in order to gain control. If I remain with this hand here, she could take out this hand. Then this is not perspective. What we have to do is to move to gain this control, grabbing on the wrist or also grabbing in the other shoulder, or maybe grabbing on the tatsuki here. Then from here, the next movement is to lower down, to have this control, and also we could break on this point, break on this point. Remember that here I am dealing with a woman, and I need to perform with soft moves and be gentle. But the idea on this method, independently if we are in front of a powerful man, what we have to do is to break. The key to this Sukima no Ho, it's to break bones and and joints with any option, any chance we could have here. Then from here, next step, go down, also keeping this control, lower the base from here, and when we reach this point, take care that this is very uncomfortable. He is performing an arc here. I could take the chance to break also to this point, perform kotumawasi, put it behind the back on this point, and also having this bend here, I could put the knee over here, or also that it's the more violent, keep control, restraining with the foot and step and kneeing down over the thumb in order to break here both arms. Remember that we have the left arm crossed on the back and the other is here. Remember that we have broken in several parts, several sides and several directions, shoulder, neck and any bone of the arm. take a look that it's very powerful. And my right leg, it's continuously stepping on. I have release for not damaging more my partner, but I am also stepping on the lower calf on the left leg of the uke. But of course I could also move my knee in order to fall and knee breaking this, that is very weak in this angle, this heel. Then the capability to be very aggressive, violent on this method, it's whole high. This is what is called Soryoku, the sweeping falls. Okay, this is the last one for today, that it's called Mokuba. Remember that all these methods are presented with a single technique or several details of several techniques, but we cannot see them as a whole, only understanding one sequence. The idea is only to present very small details in order to understand the knowledge of the Shizen tradition. Then only please understand that this is only a small perspective, basic perspective to understand a method that could be presented in seminars or courses as a wide method. Then going to the center of this method, Mokuba, Moku comes from wood and Ba comes from Uma, that means horse, then is the wooden horse. This is an ancient torture that it's performed to stretch the limbs as a way to dismember the one that is tortured, the victim. Then this method reminds us how to perform dismembering of the limbs, the upper of the lower limbs of the opponent, as a reminder of how the wooden horse will be applied. Then, as a single explanation technique, it will be the following. If in this case, Sensei Rebecca will attack me on Yokomenuchi, and for example, we enter with a very slow movement from here, we gain control on the wrist here, and we could make her fall to the ground. We have that this is I will retreat a little to gain angle with the camera, only from here, sorry. I will perform, I have here. We arrive to a very common positioning, a very placement that it's called Hire Osai. But the key here to apply on this method is to gain the same locks on the shoulders on both arms. And from here, the key, some masters used to apply this passing here on the back from here and dismembering by passing to that side at the same time that my calf is pressing forward in order to take out, to dismember the neck. We could also apply it stepping forward and having this on my hara. I will move a little to have the camera, sorry, put here, right. We are stepping on and having control fully of the shoulder, and from here I have the control, as you could see, on my hara here. And the idea here is to move, to retreat more a little my right leg in order to dismember the neck at the same time that my movement will go forward, with the idea of making this kind of torsion, of twist on the body, and will of course dismember both shoulders by this way. The neck will be going forward at the same time that the pressure makes her to twist and make a torque lock on both shoulders, and it will be very, very painful. Of course, this is a single technique as an explanation, but the method will also employ other limbs as a way of dismembering, Also using, for example, opening the legs in order to twist the knees, etc. The idea is to follow with the idea or breaking by stress of both limbs. Then this is a quick explanation for the last method of the Sukima no Ho, that it's called Mokuba. Hope that you have enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching our videos. See you next time.